That was a good stream on Loz D Punch Out's channel. Shout out to you, sir. We all appreciate you having us on. I got Tyrant Smith Boxing, also known as TS Boxing
Yes,
now.
I changed it to make it more visible.
We don't have to go to the duration and the
Yeah.
channel, you know.
Yeah. Hopefully you
Oh,
can type this in and you get what you need.
oh no, damn. Nah, man, but it's good to have you on. We'll see who we got coming into the chat today. Again, this isn't the one of the wilder shows, so I guess some of the weirdos won't be hopping in and out of the chat. But yeah, we're just going to be talking about matchups for this year. Fights we'd like to see, or fights that might not happen, but we would like to witness. Fights that will happen as well. But I was actually going to piggyback of what we were talking about on Loz D's channel, and that is Helenius versus Kalnaki 2. In my opinion, I think the same thing happens.
Mm-hmm.
You can only get away fighting like that for so long. The thing is, Kalnaki has zero defense. Like he might roll, and that's about it. Like he doesn't catch, he doesn't block, he doesn't parry, he doesn't slip, he doesn't duck, he doesn't weave, he doesn't use the clinch as a defense, he doesn't step back, nothing, no angle, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively, one of the worst in the division. I don't think he's a trash fighter. He's got heart. He's got a good engine on him, but that engine was depleted. Helenius went to the body, and he slowed him down a bit. And that first knockdown, that was a knockdown. That wasn't no slip.
Yeah,
That was a
yeah.
clean left hook. That chinned.
Remember, he has some power, Helenius.
Oh no, dude,
In his hands.
he's very heavy-handed. People underestimate him. He is very heavy-handed.
I felt he must have not trained or something for the Washington fight, because he really should have got Washington out of there, and he was on his way to knocking him out. I felt, or getting a wide decision, because Washington was slowing down, but Helenius slowed down way faster than Washington, and that's what happened.
Yeah, I mean, in those losses, I just feel like he didn't turn up.
Right, White lost. Yeah, definitely, he didn't turn up, and he hurt him with that right hand early.
I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between him and White, because I believe already Helenius can give him problems, because he almost had him out of there on two occasions in that fight early on. Actually, I might even bring the clip up of that. I might try to use some video today. But I remember that that was in Cardiff, Wales. That's when people started to like White. Is it this one? That was a last-minute fight as well, bear in mind.
Yeah.
That was a last-minute fight.
And Mr. Boxing today put on his channel something from Helenius's Instagram to his fans. Like, it was really just, the sad part about boxing. He was like, "Hey guys, I'm sorry for not trying my best. I hurt my hand and I really needed the money." So I was like, I was like, damn. Okay.
Let me see. I'm checking that right now. Salute Young Merv the Cut Man. The Nordic Nightmare. His hand. He looks like Bane in one of these photos. He's got a vest and a gas mask and everything. He looks in good shape there. He can fight.
He just needs to make sure to keep his hands up instead of
he can't just
wrapping up from a distance.
He can't just walk back and
right,
allow those jabs to get through and those shots to the chest, because he did a good job on the ropes, just trying to like roll back with things and just kind of leave his hands out there and control the neck and control the shoulders. I thought he did that well, but he still took unnecessary shots.
Yeah, he
And I
did.
feel like that is an issue that can be fixed. It's a minor issue from how he got hit. And yeah, man, I thought he weathered the storm, and he just nailed him on the way in.
Yeah.
He's really good at doing that. He's just good at nailing you on the way in. Let me just see this clip. I want to know which one it was. I think he does it again. I think it'll be under 10 rounds.
Yeah. If it
So
goes
I'm just
late,
watching the fight.
if it goes late, like it was some serious issues. I know he had that war with Areola, but this will be heavy shots landing, to the body from
Yeah,
a
here we
taller
go. I
guy.
found it.
You could play it, I
Found it.
guess, share screen.
I'm telling you, his counterpunching is very underrated. It's very underrated.
Yeah.
Look at him nail Dillian here, right? This wasn't even the shot.
The second round, was it?
I think this was the second round.
Wait, salute young Merv the Cut Man. I'm here micromanaging.
Let me play that again. So you see him stumble a bit there.
Yeah.
Let me do that in slow motion. See, Sky owned this, so I don't want. And then there's the next bit.
Yeah. I like White's little mohawk there that he used to have.
Yeah, bring it back, man. I miss it. You see that there?
Mm-hmm.
He had him gone, man.
Yeah.
That was the shot, you see?
Mm-hmm.
Watch, he nailed him with some sort of like check hook, a mini check hook.
Look at his eyes look glossy.
He's out. Look at him. Hellenius let him back in. See, that's what I do. Like, I look at that fight and it's like, he got countered so many times. If he was in there with a guy like Wilder, he'd be just gone.
Yeah.
And Hellenius is not quick, but he can box. He knows how to counter. He knows how to counter with that big right hand. So, I just see the same thing happening again. And, I don't think I can play the PBC on Fox. Actually, maybe I can. Let me try to look it up. Like a crowd view. No, I don't think so. But, I just really think that Konaki's going to have to do a lot of things. Because I didn't really even particularly have him winning the fight by much either.
Mm-hmm.
So, in saying that, I mean, yeah, I don't see it, man. I think Hellenius will get it done. Hellenius is the gold champion for the WBA. So, he might, he might be able to get someone on there,
I'm just rewatching the fight at his little celebration he did after.
Oh, that was so funny, dude. That was so funny. Oh, man. What did he do? It was like a dance or something.
Oh, shoot. I forgot. Yeah, happy birthday. That's pretty cool, young Merv the Cut Man. Your birthday's on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I hope you have a good birthday, man.
Oh, I didn't even see that. See, what would I do without my micromanagement, eh?
Right.
What is this shit? No, I don't want to invest in stocks. Your happy birthday, man. Happy New Year. Here it's the 2nd. So yeah, I'm in the future. but nah, look, same thing's gonna happen. I can't believe, dude. I can't believe people were saying Wilder was running from Adam.
That's a narrative?
Were you aware of that?
No, I didn't even know that was a narrative.
That was a narrative going around, man. Yeah, in late 2018, when he knocked out Washington and he was at the crowd. Wilder won't fight Konaki. Wilder will duck Konaki.
That's
That
weird.
was the fucking narrative. Man,
Interesting.
I can't believe that shit. Like, are you for real? Like, really? But man, hey, if you want to jump on, man, you can. Canvas bed. Good to have you on. Good to
Yeah,
have you in the
salute,
chat,
Canvas
man.
Bed. What's up, man?
Salute to you. Now I want to move on to I might share screen as well. I want to move on to another fight that I really, really want to see, and that will not happen. Um, this has been sort of close to happening, but at the same time not being close. And what I mean by that is the guy's been in position and he hasn't got his opportunity because of certain people and avoided throughout the division.
Hmm.
Some of you might know who I'm referring to, but that, my friend, is the fight between Joshua and Luis Ortiz. I remember in 2016 there was talk of this, late 2016, because we had Ortiz who was at Matchroom. He even went to the UK and he fought Dave Allen. It was 2017, which was kind of when he was meant to get his shot. But instead, because in case some of you don't know, the sanctioning bodies, they're run by a court system, and I think the order is I think it's IBF. I forgot the order what it was in, but you're meant to follow it unless you get exemptions. And Ortiz was next, and he didn't get his shot because Hearn petitioned to the WBA, can you let us do this mandatory for the IBF and then we'll do you next? But, that didn't happen. What happened was Joshua went on to Unify, and then Povetkin was the mandatory. And Ortiz got the shot at Wilder. So by him getting out of the WBA, he was WBC ranked, so he lost his mandatory position. But overall, he was still meant to get his shot. A lot of those actions were way after the mandatory was due. You can even hear Hearn saying in interviews on IFL TV that Ortiz, is horrible to be in that ring with. So I want to get your thoughts, Tyrone. How do you think this fight plays out now? I'm not going to go
Um,
back then, but right now, just let me check things.
it all depends on how much Ortiz has left. I don't know. I mean, his last fight, you can't take anything away from that. So I want him in there with a top guy. And yeah, it all depends on how much he has left. If he's, you know, has stuff left, then he can beat all these, a lot of guys in the top 10. He could beat White, Pulev, all those guys. He might even be able to beat, AJ. I think he can definitely beat Fury, you know. Yeah, it all depends on how much he has left, if age hasn't caught up to him, because he's probably the most skilled fighter in the division, right now. And as far as the subtleties.
Yeah. Would you say those subtleties would be like the age and the wear and tear?
No, as technically, like the way he sets traps, like the feints especially that he does, they're not
Oh,
like
you're talking about,
these,
yeah.
they're not like these jerking herky jerky stuff like Fury. No, the way he sets it up and the way he'll turn his opponents into certain areas of the ring that he needs them to be, the way he closes down space. Like he looks like he's just kind of like, I wouldn't say marching forward, but plotting. But he isn't. It's like it's done. it's done in a what's the word? Not hypothetical. It's forgetting the word now. But it's done in a really kind of concrete way. You know, it's with a plan.
It's systematic. Like,
Right.
it does look like he's slow on his feet, but he's not, because one minute you see him doing that, and the next minute he's on his bike, crossing his feet, jabbing,
Yeah,
dancing around the ring.
exactly.
I remember he was doing that with Wilder. When Ortiz did that, Wilder couldn't do anything
Hmm.
because Wilder was just stuck in the middle of the ring doing that pawing thing he does. And he's like, I can't let this right hand go, and I can't check hook him or anything. I can't even jab him. But this guy is able to get in and out quick. And for a guy back then, because he wasn't, he was under 40 when he fought Wilder. But,
Barely. I mean, well, that's what BoxRec says.
well, if people want to say he's 50, that means he started his career at 42. So,
I
I
think
mean,
he's closer to 46, 47. That's
I
my
fucking
opinion.
doubt it. I doubt it. But
Because
uh,
he looks a weathered 41. I know guys in their late 40s don't look like Ortiz. Or they look like Ortiz in late 40s. I don't know many
Frank
people 30
Sanchez,
either. Well,
I
that's
asked,
also another guy,
I asked someone, how old do you reckon Frank Sanchez is? And they said like 47.
Yeah, could be.
Right. And I said, nope, he's like 28. And they're like, fuck
No
off.
chance.
God,
No
no, no.
chance.
So this fight here, what avenue do you see Joshua getting on his route to victory here?
That's interesting. Out the victor. Ortiz isn't going to get caught by those right hands that he throws, those straight right hands. You know, that's only for stiff targets.
I think that straight right is the best, one of the better tools given the whole southpaw style matchup. But what the weaknesses I see with Ortiz is that, going off the Wilder fight, at least, maybe a couple times in the Hammer fight as well, and early in his career when he got knocked down, sometimes, and this can go for everyone, but because that's how skilled he is. Like, I don't see too many flaws with Ortiz, right? But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes he misjudges certain punches. So, like, when Wilder got him in the second fight,
Yeah, that was more of
um,
a distance thing. Wilder's is a long kind of right hand.
yeah, but he did the
Uh,
wrong thing. He went and reached for the left, and
yeah,
he left.
Joshua's is more of like a chopping sort of right hand. It comes down, if you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
but you see when Joshua throws it, he throws it and he brings it like back up, like
Right.
obviously, like, because he's like, oh yeah, I overthrew that. Now I've got to bring it back here quick. So
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't throw it like um a Wilder, where it's kind of from, like, it really shoots long like that. It's like more of a, it's quick. It's quick to the point. He throws a good right hand. He throws it good when he counters. Like when he got Povetkin that time with that jab to the body, or the fake jab, and then he just let it go from the pocket right through. That's when he's
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. But Ortiz is not going to give him that distance to get in that close. Povetkin is a very aggressive fighter, and he's willing to stand there. I think Joshua's gonna have to do a lot of jabbing. Um, both guys are gonna have to go to the body, and I think that's probably where you've got to actually go with Joshua. I think you got to hit him to the body, make that big man feel his own weight. Chop him down. Um, Ortiz is very good. He likes to vary his attacks with his left hand. Again, those feints are good as well. I like them. A lot of his knockouts have come for lesser opposition, but you know, how we got Razvan and Kajanu out of there was good. You know, we don't need to go 12 rounds like Joseph Parker did. You know, it only takes 2 rounds for that. You know, that right hook and then the left, boom, straight down the pipe. Joshua's going to need to use the uppercut, but it's going to be hard because Ortiz, I don't think he'll be there for it. You know, unless Joshua gets in close. It's a hard one because it's a hard one for Joshua, I reckon. It's hard for Ortiz as well, but, you know, Joshua can't try box like he did with Ruiz because Ortiz, you know, Ortiz is a counterpuncher, but, you know, when he comes forward, he can do his own work there as well. So I'd have to favor Joshua, but I don't know if he'd knock Ortiz out. He's definitely capable of doing it. I just feel like Joshua's there like he'll be there for a lot. I mean, I'm looking at the dude's chest right now. That left hand, I just visualize that, just smacking that there, taking the wind out of him. Remember how Pulev was doing that? He was jabbing him. You know, if that's Ortiz doing that, you know, I feel like a lot of Joshua's great tools won't be able to be used against Ortiz. You know, Ortiz is smart. You know, you got to think about it. His only losses have come to a guy that is really difficult to get a read on and really difficult to know what's coming next.
It's really distance with him. Stormy's here.
Oh, Stormy here?
Yeah.
Just let me know, because I don't want to like continuously switch from this to that. The pictures.
Yeah.
If Ortiz hurts Joshua, he'll get him out of there. He's a good finisher. But like I said, the body attack for me, that's the one, I reckon. That's the one.
I just want to see him fight White, but I don't think they'll give him that chance.
Well, we'll move on to that fight then. Let me just... Oh, Stormy's here. Yes, he is here. Welcome, Stormy.
Oh. Hey, what's up, man? I thought you weren't going to let me in, man.
How'd you wait, what, 4 minutes?
Man, you got me back there. There's no snacks or nothing, man. It just got me back there. But, hey, Happy New Year, man. And glad to be continuing with you guys. You know, feel like talking. So let's get it on, as Mills Lane used to say.
Yes, we shall. Salute, Ricky Williams. Peace, man.
Hey, I wanted to say something about you talking about Joshua throwing that right hand and bringing it back like he does. You know why he does that? Because when he throws the right hand, he's trying to aim it. You're not supposed to do that. That is a technical flaw, and it will get you knocked out by a seasoned professional fighter, a counterpuncher who recognizes when someone does that mechanically. You're not supposed. It's almost like telegraphing your punches. And at this stage and juncture, when I've said things about Joshua not getting better, and if anything, he has regressed, and people have gotten upset. They think that Stormy just don't like the guy and he be critical and this and that. No, I'm telling you exactly what it is. And professionally, they're not going to say it, you're right, because guys who want to get in there with him want the opportunity to try to exploit it. But that's exactly what it is. Joshua tries to aim his punches. You don't aim your punches in boxing. You let your hands go. And that's another problem with working with focus mitts all the damn time, because when you work with focus mitts, you're looking at where the trainer holds them, right? Well, what if the opponent that you fight doesn't have those aerial dynamics that where you were accustomed to throwing the punches, which is why you work the heavy bag? You see? And these people out here trying to reinvent the wheel, doing things that they don't need to do, all that cross training and everything, it doesn't amount to a hill of beans when you get in there against a guy who can hit you one time in your gut and make you fold up and rethink life. Okay? We ain't even talking about getting hit on the chin. We're talking about a good, solid shot to your body, whether it's your chest, your rib cage, your solar plexus, your liver, or the pit of your gut. A man who can really punch and punch with the proper technique and everything can make you rethink life. And so Mr. Joshua, when he throws that right hand, he's aiming it. And when he brings it back, he's bringing it back almost like if it's on a, what do they call those? A bungee cord, snapping back. He's got to get rid of that. He's got to get rid of that. And how old is he? 30, 31 now?
31, yeah.
Listen, man. Stormy tell you like it is, man. It may not sound pleasant if you're a fan of the individual. But like I said, be a fan of the sport and understand what you're looking at when you're seeing it. Even for his technical flaws, Wilder doesn't do that.
Yeah, well, usually when he throws a right hand, it's after he's judged it and, he's pretty sure that's going to go where.
And he throws it in a manner of which he's trying to punch through the target.
Right.
See, Joshua is punching at the target. Do you see the difference? That's why it comes back like that.
Yeah, when he throws it, it's like, hopefully it hits him, but if it doesn't, then I'll try again, sort of a thing.
Yeah. But since Watcher was cooking on that, I wanted to open up with my comment on that because I was chomping at the bit to, say what I had to say on that because it's something that could easily be rectified, but it's something that they haven't even looked at it. He's been doing it for years.
Yep. This is the same thing I say about Dillian White as well. With his right hand as well.
His right hand is the same issue, yeah.
But
his entire posture.
Yeah, well,
he carries all of his weight on his front foot. And that's why he ate every bit of Povetkin's uppercut when he fed it to him.
Yeah, he fell right into it.
We got a few in here today. Salute Big Country Howard. It's funny. I've got a contact that was saying like that fight is possible with Joshua Ortiz. If depending on who wins. But I highly doubt it. Jay Shade, good afternoon to you, sir. I'm going to bring another fight up now. This is one I really feel that we should have got already, but it's oh no, I'm not going to use that, am I? A lot of fans, I guess, because I'm not like these other fickle fans. I just want to see matchups. I want to see the guys compete with each other and do the best that they can. But one fight that I wanted to see was this one here. Once again with Ortiz, and I'm sure many of you want to see back in 2018 when this fight was out there, WBC said, if you want a title shot, Ortiz and White, you want to become mandatory, you got to fight a final eliminator, man, for the second mandatory. Because the mandatory was Brazil, because he fought a final eliminator in 2017 on the Wilder undercard. Back then, Dillian was also offered that fight with Brazil. I don't blame him for not taking it because it was late notice. But at the same time, you got to risk it for the damn biscuit. This fight was then put on the table. Dillian accepted the procedure at first for the bids, and then he found out who the opponent was, and then all of a sudden he pulled out. That right there, to me, speaks volumes. I know a lot of people within the LDBC as well, they want to see this fight. I know a lot of other Fickle fans say that Ortiz is unproven. White's more proven. Why should White fight him? We got the smoke and mirrors now as well, with Dillian saying he wants this fight. Ortiz saying that he'll come to London and fight. Ortiz's manager saying, hey, we beat White, we should fight Joshua next. You know? So I'm going to let you guys cook on this. From a technical standpoint, how do you see this fight going?
I think he beats him. Ortiz beats White.
Yep. Any method how? You want to break it down or?
Probably knockout.
let me allow me, please.
Yeah, let Stormy do the breakdown.
No, it's just I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with. Because, like, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right? It's like you get the job done, as Joe Frazier used to love to say. No, this fight right here is a tremendously favorable matchup for Luis Ortiz because Luis Ortiz can box. Luis Ortiz has a pedigree of boxing and fighting. And Dillian Whyte is a guy who has come into the sport and the division with opportunity because there are not a lot of good guys out there. They're not. And being a two-sport individual where he came from, what was it, kickboxing or something like that or whatever. But Luis Ortiz is the kind of guy.
Kickboxing.
Yeah, Luis Ortiz is the kind of guy with Olympic pedigree. And he can box. There's a reason why Vladimir Klitschko didn't want to fight him. It wasn't so much of like, oh, I think I'll lose. You know, he's going to whoop my butt. Because like I said, and like many others have said, some of you guys as well, at the top level of the sport, these men are really not afraid of one another, right? What they may be hesitant is to lose their status, to lose what they have acquired and have been awarded in some instances and given in others. And it's hard to attain things without working for them. And a lot of guys don't want to work for things today. Ortiz, all he needs is the opportunity with an opponent, and he can shine. Even in 2 losses to Wilder, he shined. He shined because he stepped up to the plate to fight Wilder. He tried to compete and tried to win against Wilder, and he proved to be formidable against Wilder, where he hurt Wilder and had him in trouble at one point and things like that. So that's what's supposed to happen when you're talking about class meeting class. So at the end of the day, with Ortiz and Whyte, Whyte's shortcomings will be exposed easily and easier by a fighter with the pedigree that King Kong has, and as well as the southpaw advantage. He knows how to fight right-handed fighters, and Whyte doesn't have a right hand like Wilder, so it's like it would be a different animal to be competing with. Like he can go and be a little more aggressive without having to worry about that caution and everything. And for those who think that Whyte has like a great left hook or whatever, you know, his left hook, he's got very long arms. So he can hit you even when you think you might not be in range and stuff like that because of his reach and things. It's kind of a funny dynamic. But the left hook is not as effective against the southpaw. So it's not, he's going to have to be worried about King Kong's straight left hand and other punches in his arsenal as well. So it's definitely a highly favorable fight for King Kong Ortiz, and Dillian Whyte would probably get beaten up in a fight with Ortiz. He would get beaten up by the man, because Ortiz knows how to fight. He knows how to work the body. He knows how to go up and down. You know, going back to when he fought like Bryant Jennings and stuff like that.
About to say that.
If you saw how he beat Jennings, who gave Klitschko problems, okay, he beat the crap out of Jennings.
Oh yeah, that was. I'm about to watch the highlights back now.
He beat the crap out of Jennings. So it's like, and we're not talking about a case of styles making fights. We're talking about fighters being able to fight and be successful against one another. There's a reason why Vladimir did not want to take on Ortiz, and Ortiz was right there, ranked in the top 4 when he held the belts. So he you know, the man has been avoided for a long time, and you have to take your hat off as Deontay Wilder to have fought him twice when he didn't have to, and it was a merit of at least the man got decent paydays out of that because he fought for the heavyweight championship. And at the end of the day, that's what you want to see in the sport. You want to see competitive matches. Seeing a guy like Dillian Whyte make it through as far as he has, and his name being mentioned amongst top fighters in the sport in that division, is almost disgraceful, because there are better fighters that are coming up, and there are fighters who are right there at the level that should be getting far more attention than someone like him and what he brings. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm talking about the merits of accomplishments, because if you look at Whyte and the opportunities that he's had and what he's turned down, that should tell you all you need to know about him. And I'm sorry I went on a little long, fellas.
No, we enjoy it. We all gain the knowledge. We all gain a better understanding as well. Oh man, they're tripping. You kidding me? Pausing on Ortiz beating up Jennings, man. I want to see this. Nah, I'm just putting this up, you know, as just something to watch as we discuss. But you know, I remember watching this, and I was impressed. You know, I'd say this is Ortiz's best win of an opponent. You know, Vladimir went the distance. You know, Jennings gave him problem with movement and his own punches.
And excuse me,
Watcher.
Take note of Ortiz's variety of punches. Look at what he's able to throw. See, that's what makes him dangerous. He's not just a 1-2 guy or a guy looking to load up with big shot here and there. Look at his arsenal. Look at what he's able to get off with. And in there, and don't forget, he's a hard punching guy too. So it's not like these are like love taps. You know, he's a man, he can get you out of there with shots. So if you look at the variation of what he has to offer, and then you look at the effect, and you're talking about a 10 to 12 round fight, that's going to wear someone down, especially a guy who's not known for being in the best of condition when you talk about Dillian Whyte.
Yep. Well, you're right there. You know, that, like, I visualize that. I imagine that fight with Whyte. It's like I can see shots like that just there, the left, you know, underneath, getting in quite easily, because, you know, even that left hook, he countered that left hook just there with Bryant Jennings. People talk about Whyte's left hook, you know, but Whyte really catches guys that leave themselves open to that. If you look at how Parker just entered in that fight, he got nailed on the way in with his chin up, with his hand down. You know, if you look at Povetkin, you know, that was a bit of an awkward shot, the first knockdown.
Yeah, that was an exchange.
But still,
the second one was a good shot too. I won't lie. They caught him coming in a little bit.
The second one was, but again, those shots were there because Povetkin allowed that. You know, coming in with your hands low in a straight line like that, and you can see Ortiz. He's comfortable at fighting at the different ranges. You know, that uppercut is just
that And then I heard the corner of Ortiz, around. I don't even know what they were saying. And then you had John David Jackson. You got punched, man.
Oh man,
Brian,
that's the
you
worst.
got punched, man. You got punched.
And look
See,
here,
and
guys, if you notice, before that knockdown, Jennings was trying to fight him on the inside, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because Jennings was doing what he knows how to do, which is,
Yep.
you know, as an American fighter, let's just put this out there. American fighters, what he was doing, he wasn't doing anything improper, with the exception of like maybe laying with his head on the line inside too long. You're supposed to shift your shoulders if you're going to be on the inside. But he was fighting back, and he was looking to get Ortiz engaged in exchanges from the inside. But notice Ortiz made an adjustment. He stepped back and threw the uppercut. And he didn't throw just one. He threw a couple of them, like a double punch with the same hand. You know what I mean? And that shows ring IQ, because he's seeing that Jennings was being aggressive. So he used his aggression against him by stepping back and stepping over to the side, giving an angle. He didn't just stay in there plotting, going head for head, shot for shot. He did what he knew how to do, which was to give an angle and step back and shoot that uppercut. And as you said, his corner was yelling something to him. That was probably what they were yelling, to give an angle. Don't just stay, you know, headstrong in there, but step back, step over to the side. And that's exactly what he did. And see, these are the type of things that Dillian Whyte can't do under pressure. And when I say under pressure, because remember, he's coming from another sport. So even if with the sparring that he gets or whatever, he's not like a guy who's been doing this all his life, like Ortiz. So it's like Ortiz can do these things because they become second nature. You've been doing it all your life, boxing. Whyte, even if you're taught to do this, you got to remember to do it. It's got to be muscle memory. And those are the type of things that an experienced fighter like Ortiz can exploit. That's why Povetkin was able to catch him with that uppercut, because even though Povetkin got knocked down a couple of times himself, he realized, like, but when I throw certain shots, the guy don't even move off a line. So he came in with that one shot like he was jabbing and slipped over and just came under with the uppercut, just like Tank Davis did to Santa Cruz. When guys are not accustomed to making adjustments, you can exploit that. And Whyte knows these things, because that's why he don't want to fight these fighters. It's not like he's afraid of them, but he kind of knows like they're better than he is. And he, instead of just saying like, I'm not that good, he just run away from the situation. But you have to look at the fighters for who and what they are, which is why I speak so harshly about it, because it's I'm giving you the full determination of what this is that you're looking at. This guy don't want no smoke. He don't want the smoke because he is afraid of the guy. He knows he doesn't even have the tools. He tried to get in there with Joshua, you know, earlier in their careers when they were closer in competitiveness. And he almost got him with that big left hook. But then Joshua sucked it up and came back and got him out of there. So he don't really want to even get in there with Joshua anymore, because Joshua has fought better guys than he has, and he's learned from those experiences. But it's just like, you know, it's not the same.
Yep, totally agree. Just, you know, Ortiz has been doing this his whole life. I mean, you know, back in Cuba and all that experience. And, you know, this is just, if you didn't know, Dillian's amateur fight with Joshua back in, I think, 2009, 2010. Whyte had a total of 6 amateur fights. So out of the 6, this is one of them. I have not found the other ones, but you can definitely tell. And, you know, Whyte's not, you know, too much younger here. I can see just from his stance alone and these jabs that he is coming from kickboxing. I've seen one of his MMA fights as well. When you're up against that pure style of Ortiz, he's going to get beat up. You know, his guard, his blocking isn't too good either. I talked about this months ago. You know, Povetkin was able to, get through it. Ortiz throws the right uppercut, left uppercut, steps back, left uppercut. Just so many, adjustments he can make there. So yeah, I don't think White's afraid. I don't think he fancies it. Like I don't think he's keen on this. He's not keen on this fight at all.
Yeah.
With Ortiz.
Even in this fight, that jab he's shooting out there, all Joshua had to do was stand his ground, slip his head to the side, and fire a right hand right over it. But it's like, you could see how Joshua is not much different from this here. He's just older and bigger. But it's like, look at his chin. Look at, the
hands.
His hands, all of it. And he in this fight, he's carrying nowhere near the muscle mass and everything that he carries now. And he's like doubling over in stamina.
That's that stress. See, here he didn't really know what to do. You see him wilting back, that bloody nose, eats the jab there. And he said himself, White has this ability to take me into a dogfight. But is it really that? Because as far as I'm concerned, like that jab there shouldn't be landing like that, And there's a lot that
should be landing the jab. He's not even throwing it.
Yeah, but White's just like that jab from White is not very good, and like you said, man, hold the ground and counter that freaking jab there. But I can see like even his movement a bit is the same, you know how like he tries to do that little thing going forward with his chin and his hands are below his face, and
yeah,
I don't know, man. Man, Dillian White's just swinging for the damn fences here. Oh man,
in this instance, it's a fence he can't miss.
Man, I don't know if you've heard the story, Stormy, of when Dillian first met Chisora.
No, I haven't. I haven't heard.
Well, what happened was allegedly, it's one of the sparring stories, but Dillian came into the gym. This is when Chisora was like fighting, I think, Helenius around that time, Tyson Fury, and Dillian came in, and they'd never met each other before, and they will get a spar. And when they as soon as that bell went, apparently Dillian just went across that ring and he was just pummeling the crap out of Chisora. Now, bear in mind this has come from Spencer Fearon, so
was Groves there?
And Chisora's own coach as well.
Wait, Groves was there.
I think Groves was there.
Yeah.
I think he was, but yeah, with that, I mean, Dillian is one of those guys that went around London or the outskirts of London, and he's he sparred everyone. Not that I'm saying I'm not even talking about the Ortiz fight, having any relevance to that. I'm just giving a bit of backstory on things. That didn't go 3 rounds, did it? Damn. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, in saying that, even with Tyson Fury, he's had some things going on there as well. Oh yeah, Tyron, I got the message. It's all right. Let me just address this chat. If White left hook lands, it still don't look good, even if it gets you out of there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people he's got out of there with that shot. It's
well,
a better
when he got Chisora out of there, it was mainly Chisora being defensively irresponsible and just wading in as if nothing could come back at him, and he got hit square on the jaw, and that was it for him. It wasn't like it was a spectacular, oh, look at that left hook from White. No, it wasn't like he was Tommy Morrison or something like that. He threw the shot and it hit the guy, and it was like, but Chisora is like, where's his technique? Caveman style is what I call what he does in there, because it's like that's about it. You know, you wing this, you wing that. Did you see those awful punches he was throwing at Usyk? How
I
the
can't
world he think he
believe.
was going to hit Usyk with that stuff? And he was gassed out by the end of the first or second round.
You know, I watched an interview with him just a couple of days ago, and he talked about the fight. And he said that Usyk ran, and he said that, you know, I thought I won the fight, that, you know, uh, he was afraid to engage and this and that. No, man, you just went in there and swung for the fences, and you didn't really land much. You know, you landed a bit, but at the end of the day, like he's trying to slip every single punch, and his coach was saying that he's like, stop trying to like slip 6 punches in a row. Like you're too like caveman style is pretty damn accurate. I think that
You see?
that I mean, and I can't believe how reckless. Like I've never seen him so reckless in a fight in my life. Out of all those fights I've watched of his, he went there, he jabbed for like freaking 30 seconds, and then he just swinging for the freaking overhands and the hooks. And I thought, you
You're
cannot be
absolutely
serious.
right. Watch it. That's exactly what he did. You said 30-something seconds. Dude, that was generous. He probably did it for like 15 seconds.
Yeah, no.
And then began to open up. It was like, what was that, man? And you know what I was thinking? By the end of the first round, I was saying to myself, does this guy know he's going 10 rounds? You know what I'm saying? It was like
12 rounds, man. Friggin'
and by the end of the second round, I knew he hadn't trained. All of that stuff when they showed him in the gym, it was probably for the cameras because he had no conditioning, bro.
Yeah.
He had absolutely none.
Yeah. He had none. Yeah, I agree with that. I think I was telling Watcher that right during the fight. I said this guy, you know, was gassed after round one. He just huffing and puffing. He was totally gone. You know, they can do all the camera and you know they're in the gym and they want to be like Jack Reese. You know, lights, camera, action, all eyes on me. But when it comes down to the actual fight, you know, whether they put in the work or not shows.
No, it's just like he had nothing after the third. Like, not even
no condition.
Like 6 minutes of freaking boxing, and you're that tired.
He was done.
Like listen, that guy Witherspoon, who hadn't fought in a long time, gave better effort and had more stamina than Chisora did. And Chisora had a camp to work. That's why you know he didn't do anything. And I had said going into this fight, I was like, I was concerned about Chisora because he gives me he's like the company guy. Like if you need a guy on a card, okay, I'll do it. I'll go. Now he'll give you a show because he'll say a lot of stuff at the press conferences and he'll misbehave to the point where you say, wow, he's a loose cannon or whatever. But that's all an act. It's all a show. Because you know why? He can't fight, man. And we're talking about at the top of the class of the division, right? He can't fight. He can't beat anyone. Name me one top fighter he's beaten. You can't. And the thing about it is he always gives you stuff. He spit water in Klitschko's face. He threw glass at David Haye. He just always doing stuff, you know, and he wears that mask on there even before we had COVID with the UK flag on it and all that. He's the bad boy, right? And all of that. But then you go out there and you see him tap out like he does because he doesn't have anything else. It's all fluff and no substance, man.
I just can't believe the fucking way he fought. And I remember, Storm, you asked me and Loz, what is the consensus on Chisora? Like, is he a guy that's gonna lie down? Is he a guy that, you know, because you were unsure, right?
Mm-hmm.
But fucking God, man. Can't put those overhands were just like, I mean, he might as well have had a freaking caveman club in his hand doing that shit. I mean, like, it was terrible, man. Like, come on, dude. Like, put it together and shit. how on earth? Like, I heard David Hay talking with him after saying, like, you did brilliant, dude. He won like not even the 3 rounds of that fight. Like,
I thought it was an 8-4 performance. Like,
oh man, I mean, you're talking about generous. I mean, but you know what? Like, you touched on like how he spits in Klitschko's face and this and that, misbehaving. This guy's been doing it all his career, man. Like, I don't know if you guys know, but when he was fighting David Hay,
I know he made out with a guy in a press in a weigh-in. Who was that guy?
Oh, the
that
dude with the beads? Nah, man. I don't want to with that. Don't worry about that shit. That was terrible, man. I mean, he just grabbed the guy and he was just like, oh, dude, you know what, man? The guy is a loose cannon, but him and his coach got into a freaking fight. Like, he told his coach, put the headgear on. And then he punched his coach in the face. Like, he went, crack, crack. I don't know what it was over, but he hasn't been very disciplined for the majority of his career.
Was this recently or way early?
This was 2012. It was 2012. I remember you won't find the clip, obviously, because they didn't show that or see that, but they did an interview saying, yeah, we got into a fight. We got into a big argument and we punched each other up. Or like I punched the coach and this, like they're talking about and that. But that's the price you pay when you're undisciplined, I remember Chris Eubank Sr., he said, he said something along the lines of, he says a lot of poems and quotes and stuff, but he's like, what you've done your whole life will add up, will add up to that moment in the ring. You got to work. You can't be undisciplined. The stuff outside the ring, going on about all of that. I mean, he wants to fight 4 times next year. Does he even have the gas tank to do 4 fights next year? Because, like, who's he gonna fight? Who is Chisora gonna fight? Let's talk about that. Who do you think he should fight?
I don't know, dude.
The guy in your profile pic?
Yeah, Robert Sims.
I mean, I'm gonna bring the damn rankings up. Let me see, because they changed. I was looking up some Don King yesterday as well. That was interesting. What a unique personality Don King is. Wow. How old is Don King? Let me see how old Don King is. Oh my god, the dude's like 90 almost. Damn, does he die ever?
Yeah.
Let me
he's up there.
go to this one.
Yeah, he is.
The guy's cut out. I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Both he and Bob Arum, they really should leave the sport alone and pass the baton. But see, the thing about those guys, they have ties that are unsavory to the sport, and it goes deep. And even though they were prominent throughout their careers for what they were doing, there was really no one being groomed to take over for when they were no longer around, which is why they're still here as far as active in the sport. Bob Arum is a lot more active than Don King is, but Don King still has fighters out there. But it's a shame because that type of monopoly and control is also what's divisive about the sport, that you don't get to see the quality matches that you would like to. People like that have to go away, but you also have to understand that there are people waiting in the wings to do the same thing, but they don't necessarily have the contacts and associations and affiliations that Bob and Don have. See, those men could easily be locked away in prison, both of them. and they aren't. So that says something.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about that too. I just brought it up, but I did read something. It could be wrong, the internet is what it is, but someone said like of how bad a person Don King was. Someone said something about his training facility, and he used to like force his fighters to train there and pay like $150 a day to train there. Like, you reckon that's true? Like, because that wouldn't surprise me,
Well, I know he had his camp in Ohio, and a lot of what came off the payroll, he charged it to fighters that trained out of his camp and stuff like that. But Don would advance guys money too. That's the other side that you don't hear about. He would advance guys money, and guys would be living, well. But then when you fight, you got to pay him back. You know what I mean?
Man.
So it's like it'd be nothing for him to advance you $100,000, But when you fight and you got a camp, you got trainers and you got cornermen and stuff like that, and and you get your check from the fight, and it's time to pay everybody, and you're like, damn, Don killing me. No, you killing yourself.
There's a fighter right now that Christopher Lovejoy, I don't know if you know him, but he says Don King owes me money. And it's like, dude, why would you sign with him? Like, what comes, like, I mean, he might freaking not know, but the freaking general consensus is probably don't do business with someone like that, because that's what's going to end up happening. Man.
Most fighters get taken to school right away because they don't understand what the purses are. And as long as the rules that are in place are what's acknowledged from the get-go when you start conducting business. Remember, the manager or whatever gets 33%. Okay, that number 33 is there for a reason. Okay, why isn't it 25? Why isn't it 30? Why but 33? Hey man, there's lessons to be taught in the sport of boxing, big time. It's a brotherhood. You won't hear them say these things, but I can say it because I'm not involved directly. But it's a brotherhood, okay? And there are certain protocols that the guys got to follow. You ever notice and you see these guys and they stand up there at the press conferences and everything, and they take photos and everything? They usually use hand signals and gestures in photo meets and photo shoots, and it's all like Masonic. They do this stuff, and it's things that they'll never tell you or I or anyone else, but it's a game that they got to play. It's really deep, man, but at the same time, again, I don't get into boxing for that deep, that depth of things. I get into it to watch two combatants competing with each other. But when you really know the dirt and the filth and everything, it'll really make you just say, oh, the hell with this, man. I'm not interested in that, and I won't watch it again. Yeah, it's that bad.
Yeah. Well, salute, Mo. If anyone else wants to jump on, by all means, I'll put it out there. Yeah, that shit just makes me sick. But we're gonna move on to the rankings here. So let me just share screen this bad boy. Now this is WBA, but I want you guys to I know we like to talk about the big three, but there are other fighters, obviously. So this is the WBA rankings, and some of this is different. What matchups do we foresee happening here? Some guys got to get left out. Obviously, we can get rid of Pulev. He just fought. But who do you think can stand out here? What matchups do you think are appropriate, or would you would like to see within here?
Well, you know what's entertaining? Watch it. It's funny that you asked that question because if you start having fights between the guys that are not that good, what will happen is someone will get brave and have the thought process of like, I want to be a champion, and they'll get better. And then they'll be worthy of challenging a champion. But when guys just kind of mill about and they don't face one another and everything, it's like there's something that can take place. Like, remember Chris Arreola? He's in that list. A few years ago, do you remember all the exciting fights he was having? Remember that?
Yep.
But he was the only one. he was the only one having fights like that. But if you get other men to step up and fight one another, you know, like, like if you have, I can't read that very clearly. I'm trying to look with my glasses. Okay, thanks for zooming it in. If you take a guy like Derek Chisora and you put him in against Kubrat Pulev, do you know what would happen in that fight? You would be entertained.
Yeah, they fought already.
Huh?
They fought already.
Yeah, they did. Okay, I didn't know because I don't follow them two like that, but I wasn't aware that they fought each other. But and you got a guy like Charles Martin who is coming around because when he fought AJ, he wasn't ready to even be a champion, let alone have an IBF title or whatever. But what's interesting is he has had some good fights with Kaunaki and, you know, Washington and stuff like that. And now he's ready to face somebody else. So why not put him in against a Michael Hunter or something like that? Now, Hrgovic, I'll tell you something. He's a little bit more like a Vitaly Klitschko. Rangy, heavy-handed, big guy. Don't know how tough he is yet, but putting him in against a guy like a Arreola or even a Charles Martin or something like that would be worth watching.
Yeah. What was it? Dean, I don't know. Dean was there. Yeah, I think Hrgovic. What do you call him? The Stone Man.
But let me ask you guys this though: for the lofty position that he has found himself in, why is it that Fury hasn't fought none of these guys, with the exception of what he fought Chisora, right?
Yep.
And that's the only one that he's fought.
I'll bring it back up just in a second.
Chisora and Wilder, that's who he's fought, right? Out of these guys.
You, my friend, can get the fuck out of here. Thank you very much. Where's my fucking micromanagement at, Tyrone?
Yeah, I just saw it now.
I'm kidding.
And I was busy talking. I'm sorry. I
don't care. It's all right. I don't know. JJ,
so you got fans too. Watch I see.
Man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I got people calling me also. I don't know. People claim to know me. I don't know them, but I got fans, man. Not as much as BFTB, but I'm sorry for interrupting. I just want to get rid of that. I'm going to bring the rankings up again for Tyson Fury because, you know, he's the champion within the WBC.
Oh, no.
Tyrone, who is that sculpted Adonis in your avatar?
Well, I was on Mr. Boxing Today's channel, and you know, he was just talking about heavyweight matchups and stuff, and
Man, fuck is this?
This Robert Sims guy found his way on there, and apparently Mr. Boxing said talked about him and everything like that, and he comes on there and he starts talking about how other cruiserweights don't want to fight him and that he'll fight Rivas for the Bridgerweight title. So I didn't hear about this guy, so I said, at Robert Sims, what's your record? No response. A little while later, at Robert Sims, what's your record? No response. So then I went ahead and I checked his record and found he was 11-3 with a whopping 3 knockouts, you know, and fought nobody of note. And then I saw how he looked like. So I guess it's just your average boxer these days. They get on and talk.
Just bear with me, guys.
I have another funny one. I
figure there's always a story to your avatars.
Oh yeah, you know this one. Look at this one here. Look at this one.
Oh man,
Teofimo Lopez, his dad. I think he took my advice. Remember, I was talking a couple lives back about how Teofimo Lopez needs to get his teeth fixed. He went and got braces.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think it's because of me or somebody. He must have. I think they watch these channels secretly.
Of course they do, man. Of course they do, especially for some of us that, you know, when we appear on shows and stuff where you see a lot of people viewing and everything.
Yeah, they watch. It's just sad that he didn't get his, you know, his dad's teeth fixed. He needs help. It's like he's been smoking crack. Who's another? I've got a couple pictures here. I like this one. The Jacobs one is always funny. He stunk the place down. He had to duck.
Yeah.
I also like this one. This is more recent.
Oh, Pulev.
So I try to find some funny ones from time to time. I'll probably find another one either beginning of this.
My favorite one of yours is that Chavez with his hand over his face. You know,
yeah.
right?
Here you go. There you go.
Dude, when that fight happened and he quit and all of that, and Chavez Sr. was seen in that was one of those memes that, you know, like the Jordan crying meme and everything is like, it just became uber popular, man.
Yeah, that's really funny. Of course, everybody's seen this one.
That's the best one, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's a toss-up between this one and well, I like the other ones because they're more subtle, but this is more blatant. This one and this one is pretty good. The Bellew one is pretty funny.
Yeah.
But this one's pretty good too. I like this one a lot. This was one of the first ones I found. You've got to understand it to laugh at it. Like, this is an oxygen tank. So they're trying to bring the oxygen out.
Oh man.
I had another one somewhere. I gotta find it. Oh man, I don't know where it is now. I had it. I've got to look for it. It's somewhere, but it was. Oh man, I've really got to search through all these pictures now.
I had one that was, you know, Holyfield is my favorite fighter, but I had this one that Lennox was hitting him with a beautiful uppercut, man. It was like, how the hell did he take that shot? Because you could see Lennox's fist was just all under Holyfield's chin completely. And for that man to be able to take that shot from Lennox, man, it was like, damn. But I used to use that as an avatar for a while.
I have one that was pretty good too. Man, I'm gonna screenshot it again. I'll bring it to you guys later, but you'll see it's pretty funny.
Yeah, I've wrenched some of you guys up, so some of you that are here now will get it eventually. I just need a little bit of trust instilled. That's all. But yeah, Stormy, I was gonna address what you asked me before about Tyson Fury. Let me pull the rankings up. What was it? He hasn't fought some other guys or something?
Well, I said he's fought only Chisora and Wilder out of the top guys, you know.
Mm.
He hasn't faced any other guys like Parker. He hasn't faced, you know, White. He hasn't faced Ruiz or Charles Martin, you know, any of those guys, you know. And you would think that, like, for someone, because even when he fights, like, he's looking to fight a guy now, you know, that he's not fighting Wilder, but he wants to pick a guy to fight, you know, like someone outside of the top 30 or whatever. And that's what he does. And they let him get away with that foolishness. But Fury should be made to fight somebody, man. He should really be made to fight. And I remember last year I did a video. I was like, you know, Dillian White and Tyson Fury, that's a fight that should happen. That was last year before he lost to before the fights with Wilder and everything. And I'm like, why didn't they just make a fight with this guy?
Yeah.
And that's not to say that White deserved or earned, you know, anything like, oh, he's somebody Fury should be. It's just like, fight somebody, you know?
Yeah. Well, I did hear that. I don't know why he's not freaking fight. Look, those guys outside this list, and look, not everyone here like is very good either, but you know, Schwartz, Wallen, those aren't the guys. They're not even here still. I mean, Otto Wallen's just left here. Is he in the next one? No, he's not. What is that one? WBO? Yes, it is. Okay, so I mean, Tyrone, do you remember when back in like October, November, we were talking about like a Jugbar and a Cabell like being potential opponents for Fury because that's what was put out there.
Yep.
None of the guys at the top here.
Man, when the Jugbar got put on his ass by that journeyman, that was another moment for me, and I barely have.
I told everyone. I said it will happen, and it did happen. Next is probably an out cold knockout.
Yeah, if you fight somebody serious, he'll get his lights put out.
But you know, like Charles Martin Fury, you know, Hunter and Fury, you know, those are better ones for me than Wallen. I heard. Did you hear about Brazil Wallen? Dominic Brazil and Otto Wallen.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I think Brazil is a bum, and Otto Wallen is super overrated. He's a bum too. I think Brazil.
Fucking hell.
I think Brazil will knock this guy out late. He won't have anything to keep him off him.
Otto Wallen for me just fucking, excuse my French, but he just fades.
He's shit too. He had one good performance with that tap dancer, and people make him out like he's amazing. And I don't give a shit about his dad dying neither. That had nothing to do with the fight. I'm sorry, but I mean he's really no good.
Jesus.
He's fought nobody to get in the top 10 except that guy. They had a Sweden grudge match between him and somebody named Granite. And that guy's chin was the opposite of Granite.
Well, look. See, when he fought Fury, I thought it was a draw. Because that, like, Fury just, I don't know what happened to the.
But is that like a claim to fame, though? Like,
you gotta understand, like, he's very entitled now. And I can't stand that because this is not really the place to do it.
But could he like
you
literally sit
didn't
down?
beat the guy. You didn't beat the guy. You lost. That's one loss, dude, on your record now. You were defeated.
But could he like hang like? That seems like he's putting all his laurels there. Like he literally thinks he's a god because he, had a tough fight with a guy who looks like the Michelin Man who can't do 10 dead hang pull-ups.
Oh, fuck.
Literally cannot do 10 dead hang pull-ups. Looks horrible. Like, and he hangs his hat on that. I mean, Wilder knocked him out, but he's not bragging about it like, oh, I had a draw with Fury. Wilder never said that. He knew he should blow this guy away. So why Wallen, like, that just shows how shit Wallen is.
I thought you were talking about Brazil getting knocked out by Wilder, but
no. Fury getting knocked out by Wilder. Or Wilder knocking out Fury, basically.
I saw the interview with Brazil, and like they asked him about the fight with Wilder, and Brazil's like standing there. He's sitting there with Abner Mares, like they're on a couch together, and
I think I saw that one too.
He's like, yeah, man, it's just bounce back time, and you know what, dude? Like that just ended so badly. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me see. It seems to me that my micromanager Tyrone's doing a pretty bad job today.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
I'm kidding, man. I'm one of the 6. Wow. What? All right, I won't time you out. I asked Sugar Hill Stewart. Is it Stewart or Stewart? I asked Sugar Hill Stewart on Barbershop why Fury didn't fight on December 5th. He blamed it on the networks, but we know the truth. He is in mediation right now. I don't even want to talk about that, but yeah, I saw you briefly on there, Mo. I didn't see the question, but I don't know. He wouldn't even know, man. He wouldn't even know. Like, I doubt he would know anything.
All right.
About stuff. It's Sugary Hill Stewart. Oh my god. You got something for us, Tyrone?
Yeah, I'm about to put it up here.
Here we go. Yep. Oh boy, this should be good.
All right. This is more. This explains the oxygen stuff more. This was on the Povetkin White undercard.
Oh yeah, I know what you got to show. I know exactly what you got to show.
You could guess.
It's David Price.
No, it's not David. Well, I should get that one too. Oh, man.
Oh, it's not?
It's taking time to upload. Oh, there it is.
Who is that?
It was somebody, Luther Clay, if you know him, versus Chris Congo. It was on the undercard.
No!
I screenshotted it, and I was just trying to find the screenshot. So that's him taking the oxygen.
Tyrone, you ought to get one of Dubois on that one knee.
Oh shoot! Wait, I'll find that one.
Oh no! See, Dubois is quiet now. He's not spoken or anything.
Yeah,
I saw his Instagram
stuff before that fight, though, wasn't he?
Don't mention guys like Wilder. Focus on what's in front. This is the type of stuff that happens as well from the technical side and also outside the ring. Now you're quiet, and it seems that it's affected you very badly. This is a serious issue now.
That guy was talking mega bull crap, man. And, it's like you see what takes place in these fights, man. Mike says he's too busy getting his socket fixed.
His eye, like letter I, socket fixed. Oh no!
Here you go. Should be loaded up.
Probably. You know what he looks like? looks like Superman. He looks like Superman when he lands, you know?
Oh man.
Oh no. He looks like Superman. Oh. That's just bad. You know what, dude? Like, that's too funny, dude. You're killing me, Tyrone. You're killing me.
It's just funny to laugh at because, like, you've got the voice thing going over the avatar. It's like, can we take this guy seriously?
Right?
Because some of the avatars I pick, they have to like mean something, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
I totally pick up on that. That's why I laugh when I
Yeah.
you know.
I always notice whenever I come in, you immediately look at my avatar. Like I was with Laws. Laws didn't even notice the Pulev one time. I told him, then he laughed. I was like, wow, I didn't even see that.
Oh, you got me crying over here, dude. Oh, you know what, dude? I gotta bring up audio to match with that avatar. I swear. Oh man. Oh, that's too funny. I swear that one got me. I reckon. Man, what a great start to 2021. Great laugh I had there.
We have some good pictures come out.
You know what, dude? Like, actually, yeah, I've seen that one loads of times. I want to see if Getty Images.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if he's on there with me because those are like high quality, high resolution.
Mm-hmm. This may have been.
Dude, you know when he took that knee, like what went through my mind. What was like funny as well? How he got up.
Like, yeah, that was kind of bullshit because he tried to make it out like, he tried to do the, I beat the count though. I beat the count. Sort of a deal. You know what I mean?
Like Charles Martin.
The Charles Martin thing.
I tell you, man, this is an era of knee takers.
You know how, like, when he got interviewed?
Yeah. Huh?
Go ahead, Watcher.
Nah, what were you saying, Stormy?
No, I said this is an era of knee takers, man. It's like these guys, they want out, you know?
Yeah.
They want out.
Oh, man. You know what? Like,
that's the thing, like, because if people were to ask me about, like, me and Watcher talked about it. In hindsight, with the damage, it looked okay. We're looking back at what he did, looked fine, but at the end of the day, it was a conscious decision to say, I don't want to continue at the end of the day. So,
look, dude,
shouldn't
at the end of the day,
what they will with that. Condolences. Condolences.
Oh man. Oh no. I swear.
The only thing you could say about this thing about taking knees, man, and stuff like that is that when you do it that first time, it's like it gets easier. It gets easier and easier after that, to find a reason why not to go on. He could have went out there and threw a Hail Mary punch and hit Joyce on the chin or knocked him out or something. You never know. It's like you have to try, and I understand for those who wanted to say, well, he could have had permanent nerve damage and everything. In the sport of boxing, how many shut eyes have you seen? How many broken and fractured eye sockets have you seen? And they never talked about nerve damage. Everybody have the same wiring effects around their eyes. Detached retinas are one thing. Fractured orbital bones and sockets are something totally different. So I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, of all the boxing I've watched in my lifetime, I don't believe the man had nerve damage around the eye. I think he had a pretty bad fractured eye orbital, and the pain threshold was probably more than he was willing to deal with. And so therefore he Oh man. I couldn't even finish saying what I was saying when I look up and I see Superman and Super Dubois.
Oh man.
You guys are something else, man.
I gotta take that off now.
Oh man, that's great though. It's the same pose.
It's the same, yeah.
Superhero landing, like Deadpool said. Superhero landing.
Yep.
Condolences.
Exactly. Oh,
Wow.
that's so good.
But yeah, he didn't suffer an injury that was like for the first time in boxing history. It'd been different if his eye was hanging out of the socket, right? And we'd be like, oh shit, that never happened before. But no, you've seen guys look at you mean to tell me that Josh Taylor, his eye wasn't really damaged from that fight with Prograis when they finished?
Horrible.
Man, he looked like he got hit in the eye with a bat or something.
Yeah, with like some metal rod or a pipe.
Yeah. So, Dubois, man, it's a boxing injury. And
and he was already far into it. He only had about, less than 10 minutes left.
And like I said, either the pain threshold was too much for him or he was like, he was worried, And they were talking about, the doctor said if he had continued, he could have gone blind. Yeah, all of them can. If that was the damn case, they would stop the sport, wouldn't they? Because you see, Kell Brook done had 2 of them now. Huh? Mm-hmm. So it's like, come on, man. These guys, they're just built a little different today. Just a little bit.
Yep.
Look at Michael in the comments. He said, my effing eye.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine how Daniel would say that though? Like with his voice, he'd go like, my fucking eye. Like, in that like that dull voice, Oh man. See, this is what happens. Like, you got people are gonna make fun of it, I guess,
Now see, Mo Boxing makes a great point too. He said he only had 2 more rounds just to run around, right? And he was up on the judges' scorecards. So imagine had he done that, had he opted to do that, right? Like De La Hoya went into survival mode in those last couple of rounds against Trinidad, wasn't really doing anything. And so, but what he didn't bank on was that Trinidad won some of those earlier rounds too. He thought he just won running away. But anyway, long story short about what I wanted to say about Mo Boxing's comment there, the thing is had he done that and got the decision, we wouldn't hear jack about no eye nerve damage or nothing. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh, he had a real shiner, but they wouldn't be talking about, that's for sympathy. That's to give you like, well, he must have really known something was wrong. So the fact that he couldn't go on, that's just to make it look good. It's putting makeup on the situation. And it's like, come on, man. We've seen real brutal situations. The eye, totally shut. I mean, we've seen them. That's why we can be a little more harsh. Hell, Joe Frazier was going out for the 15th round against Ali in the Thriller in Manila, and Eddie Futch had to push his shoulder down, make him sit back down. I can't send you out there, Joe. You can't see. And the thing about it was Joe's good eye that he couldn't see out of because he was legally blind in his other eye. And that's why Eddie Futch didn't let him go out. So when you think about it, come on, man. Dubois, you big, strong buck, huh? And this is how you go out, because it's like you were supposed to be the future of the division. Well, the future came crashing down, huh? I guess there's no future now. The boxing is going to be forever where it's at. No future.
He quit. At the end of the day, the dude quit. Like
yeah,
we can just come to that conclusion. He quit.
yeah.
So now that's just another quitter now in the division.
Yeah.
That just confirms it. That's my whole stance. I've talked about with Tyrone and everything. At the end of the day, he quit. Simple as, because Trick Nolt, he showed me some photos of several fighters from back in the years with a similar eye, and Josh Taylor as well. Great point. He carried on. He was taking some bombs in the 12th round, in the 11th round, 10th round before. He still continued. So the whole thing about 2 more rounds, dude, like just survive, aim to survive. But again, does he know how to survive? Probably not. He took the knee, the easy way out. So now if it gets hard again, he might just resort to this knee, the Superman landing, or whatever it is. So yeah, Mike in the comments. You there, Ty?
Yeah, I'm still here.
He's taking a knee.
Yeah, I'm taking a knee.
Yeah,
man. But you know what? Hey, you're right, guys. At the end of the day, that's what it was. And I'm not saying it like trying to make it like it's a thing you have to stand up for. And no, that's what separates people. My pain threshold may be different from yours, and yours different from Tyrone's, and it's what will separate us. But at the end of the day, you can't cry over what separates us. You just have to acknowledge it for what it is. Mike Tyson got knocked out by Buster Douglas. He was still trying to get up, but his faculties weren't in order, because when he put his mouthpiece in his mouth, he put it in backwards, remember? And he was trying to get up.
Mm-hmm.
But he was coherent enough to try to pick the mouthpiece up. When he went down and he rolled over off his back and he reached for his mouthpiece, he put it in his mouth backwards. So he was somewhat there because he was like, I'm still in the fight, let me put my mouthpiece in, but he put it in backwards. And when he stood up, the referee was like, you're done, but he didn't just lay there. You know what I mean? He didn't just lay there. And had he got up and took the count, the ref would have called time to put the mouthpiece in his mouth anyway.
Yep. I mean, I'm just wondering who Dubois is going to fight next.
Oh, man, he's probably going to fight a guy that don't have arms, You said Dubois, right?
Yeah, Dubois.
Yeah, he's probably going to fight a guy that doesn't have arms, somebody from, one of those places that they just drug up, put them in there, take some shots and go down. And that's all.
Tyrone's not here. Like I feel like Daniel Dubois is there. I don't feel like But yeah, he'll probably fight a guy with no eyes or something, but like
his confidence back up.
Yeah, I mean, look, You know, it's boxing. It changes. You know, I don't know who he's gonna fight next. It'll probably be someone that's not even a well known. It's probably one of the guys that he fought before. He fought Joyce. You know, probably one of those guys that.
It's gonna be
Frank
Larry's brother.
He what?
Richard Larry's brother, probably.
Nah, man, his second cousin.
His mom.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've been watching a lot of old school fights this week. I watched Tyson Gallotta. I watched that last night. I watched the 2 Holyfield fights with Lewis. I watched Bo Holyfield one. I watched Foreman Briggs. I watched Lewis Tyson. I watched Bo versus that. I always forget the dude's name, a Spanish fella. The one with the bad haircut.
And watching, you've been combing through my archives, I see, because you were leaving comments on stuff that's, you know, older material, older content, which is fine. But it's like nice to know that you know, seek something out and say, oh, let me check this out. How have you found some of the material? Good.
Oh, it's great. I mean, you know, that's why I'm there watching it and commenting on it. Hit the like button, you know, it's great, you know. I saw your first video, you know, in like December 31st, 2018, where you decided to hop on. So yeah. I encourage everyone here in the chat right now to go check out Stormy B Man's channel and, you know, comment, give your thoughts there. Check his older videos out as well.
And you'll see that I've been very consistent too, you know.
Yeah.
I haven't switched up. If anything, I gotten a little better with production quality or whatever, but not, you know, from my position of how I speak on the sport or whatever. So I've been very consistent with that.
Yeah, you mentioned that, like, you know, no one's helped you with the channel in terms of, I guess, like editing stuff. Like you've done that yourself.
Yeah. Trial and error.
Oh man. Yeah. So like what? Are you like someone to actually be there with you and help you with it? Or just like you just go on the internet and just
No, I research different things and try to figure it out. And you know, the first couple of times I had asked somebody for some help and people were talking about charging me money and stuff like this. And I'm like, really? Okay, well, all right. Thanks, but no thanks, you know. And just start doing it myself, man. And I mean, I've come a long way in a short period of time. I really think.
Oh, I mean, you've done a great job as far as I'm concerned, you know. You know, I was getting back to Joshua. I've seen this thing that came up a couple days ago, and it keeps surfacing. Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight. I promise you, it's happening. I saw your old videos in the archives of like Joshua put up or shut up.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like it's similar here in a way, but I just feel like it's an ongoing trend from him. Like,
yeah, there's been no change.
Too much gibber gabber, like too much talk
and no action.
I just I don't understand. Like, where was this energy? It's not going to happen. As far as I, you know, from what I know and my sources, but geez, you know, things are just a mess, really. But yeah, I mean, even this business with Canelo and his next fight against the Avni Yildirim. What do you think of all that? Tyrone, if you're there, chop it up as well. I'll be back in a second. Stormy, you can chop it up if you want. The chat will listen.
I think that Joshua has been, he's been put in a position that I don't think he was really ready for what they meant to do with him. And being a young guy at the time, they wanted to take him and put him in a position of like Frank Bruno earned more merit than Joshua ever could dream of. But Frank Bruno didn't win the title in his youth like Joshua was able to get a hold of it. And even when Frank had defeated Oliver McCall and got the WBC title from him, there was a huge celebration, coronation of, the Brits got their champ and this and that. But there were going to be some shaky roads ahead because there were a couple of fighters out there that, he had lost to already, mainly Lennox Lewis and Mike Tyson. So they knew that if ever you talk about unification, it would come to an end. With Joshua, it seemed like they took this in a different direction. They wanted a kid who was, who looked the part and everything, but they didn't want to risk it. They wanted to market him. It was about marketing. It wasn't about fighting. And that's okay if you want to say it for what it is. But when you try to make it like, well, he's a great champion and nobody can hold a candle to him and this and that, I'm like, no, man, for us who really know the sport of boxing, that won't fly. You have to prove that in the ring. And then they seem to reflect to like want to get angry at you for saying that. It's like you want to see the heavyweight champion of the world fight and be challenged and overcome challenges and things like that. And he didn't seem to want to put the title on the line against risk. And I think they developed a really bad reputation off of that. And it's left a sour taste in many of boxing aficionados' mouths because they don't trust him. You see, and the fight with Andy Ruiz Jr. was kind of like pulling the curtain back a little bit and showing you why you wouldn't trust. That's just like people saying in the rematch, okay, he boxed more, he moved and stuff like that, and he defeated Ruiz, which is what he should have did the first time. But no one wants to talk about Ruiz not coming in shape in the rematch and that he was woefully out of shape and couldn't even do the things he did in the first fight. So it became a thing of what Joshua did, not so much of what Andy Ruiz didn't do. And he got credit for that. And real boxing aficionados don't like that. Now, the Pulev thing, what the hell was that? Because one guy couldn't fight and the other guy wouldn't fight, So it was really a sham. And if anybody thinks that AJ, when they were talking about, putting him in there with Fury now and unifying there, Fury's going to kick his butt. It doesn't matter if they fight for titles or not. You just showed a video of Dillian White beating him in the amateurs. Dillian White isn't a tenth of the boxer that Tyson Fury is. Whether Tyson Fury cheats or whether he fights fair, straight up, whatever you want to call it. He's a better boxer. One of the best boxers at the division and can fight. So that's just, if anything, that'll be the cash out fight. And when I say cash out, I ain't talking about money. That's going to be where it ends for AJ. Because they don't want to see him get knocked out by Wilder, the potential to be knocked out by that devastating right hand or whatever. But he has a better chance of beating Wilder than he does Fury. Because Fury can box. And I had stated this about the Fury and Wilder fights. It's like this. Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko, who had a 10-year run, right? Wilder wasn't as good a boxer as Klitschko, but he's knocked a lot of guys out. Almost every opponent he faced, he knocked them out at some point. Big right hand. Get him out of there. But Fury could box. So the first fight went to a draw. Second fight, he gained the advantage. Third fight, how does Wilder win? I kept asking that question of other people, and I was saying that if Wilder can't box better than he has, he's in trouble again in a rubber match. But Wilder has more moxie, more guts, more heart than what we've seen of Joshua in the ring. So he's going to fight, right? He's going to fight till his end. AJ, what's going to happen when he finds out that Fury can bust him with the jab from distance? He can fight on the inside and everything. And Joshua can't really fight off the back foot. He did it against a short, fat guy who couldn't catch him. So it's like, that's not an option. What is he going to do? What will he be able to do to dispel what Fury has to offer? And Fury is chomping at the bit for that fight because he already knows he could whip Joshua. He knows this. He's been in the gym, in the Kronk gym with tougher guys than AJ. So you put all that together, man. And like I said, you know, you can see the writing is on the wall. They have a short time to enjoy this run that they've had with this kid. And they tried to market him and things like that, but it just didn't add up because the people really know. They know. They try to be supportive and everything. And this doesn't have anything to do with national pride. It has nothing to do with being British or UK or whatever. It has to be about being about a person who loves the sport of boxing. Because if you think I'm lying, why were they already hyping up Dubois to displace Joshua? Because they know Joshua was, you know, he's what do you call it? He's limited, but he's also I can't think of the word right now. He's that guy that he can only go so far. So they're looking for the future already to replace him. It's almost like when Jordan turned 30 years old and every young guy coming in NBA with a 42-inch vertical and can dunk the ball really cool, they that's the new Jordan, you know. Never mind all the other technical abilities he had and everything, and his IQ on the court and the smarts and all of that. It was like, oh, they looking to replace that athleticism, that athletic guy. Well, with AJ, they're looking for that too, but they need to look for somebody who can fight. So why not just look at Joe Joyce? He can fight. Because that's not what it's all about. It's about that marketing. It's that image that they want to project and everything. You know, you look at Joe Joyce and his face, he got scars and stuff on his face. He looked like a fighter. You know what I mean? And he looks like a guy who can intimidate people and stuff like that. And it's like, that may not necessarily be what they want. But what they want won't be there forever because this is the hurt business, this sport of boxing. And that's what happens in the sport of boxing. People get hurt. And, you know, with AJ, people's feelings get hurt. Because the more you try to show that support and show that this and that, he disappoints you. He breaks your heart. And the word I was looking for a moment ago is vulnerable. He's vulnerable. And people have a tendency to like and support people who are vulnerable, but they at least want to see you man up in your vulnerability, meaning like you give it the old college try, right? You give it what you got. He don't even do that. So, but that's my take, man. You asked me to give you something, and I gave you a lot, but I hope that was good.
No, that's good. You know what this is right now?
Yeah, that's AJ and who?
Joyce. I think. Is it Joyce?
That is Joe Joyce.
Yeah, it is
in the
Joyce.
red.
I saw that right hand. He throws exactly like he does.
You see,
that's not sparring though. What are they doing? Just shaking out in the ring? Because that's not sparring.
yeah, this is, I don't know what this is, but I found this like I found this like 2 years ago. This is my video. Man, I don't know, man, with Joshua. Like the last fight, you know, it was good he won, but it looks like he's just thinking too much. Really.
Well, they're not even doing anything. You know, he pursued the guy to the ropes and then backed away from him. It's like, and they're not throwing any meaningful shots. I'm not saying they should be fighting, but this just looks like, you know, I've had guys in the gym where they just move around and shake out a little bit, you know, loosen up, and that's what they look like they're doing. That they don't look like they're doing any real sparring, you know. They just moving around with some headgear and gloves on. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know why they need all that stuff on them. What do you guys make of Canelo's potential next opponent? And I say that in that tone because oh boy.
Yeah, this guy got sent into another dimension by Chris in 2017, and that was the fight actually right after the Arthur Abraham fight. When we saw this performance, we're like, okay, that made me actually put money, you know, on him versus Groves, which I still regret even now to this day, sadly. Which made me get angry at nothing cheap, like $50.
Fuck no. Why would you do that?
The hype.
You fell for the hype, Tyrone.
Groves really was on the slide, so
Michael Johnson. Who's these two in the chat? I don't know, who are they?
Oh no, this pigeon guy. Just ban him immediately.
I'm sorry. You're not the micromanager of this channel?
Who did you give who'd you relegate that to?
I'm kidding. Those unlikes going up towards 30. Oh no, pigeon. That means you're watching me, boy. Yep.
Yeah, but this Yildirim dude is trash. He fights with his face, and he's a come forward fighter. Literally, that's all he is, a come forward fighter. Whether he throws punches or not, that happens sometimes, but no, guy is no good.
They call him Mr. Robot.
Yeah, he knocked out James DeGale's tooth, but that's all he's known for.
He fought DeGale?
Nah, he sparred him.
Oh, well, so what?
That's it. I mean, he got what was it? It was a toss-up decision versus Durrell. I guess in a close fight, but
you know, Durrell's another one, man. I'm very unsure about him and his brother.
The actors, especially Andre Durrell. He's the biggest actor.
Yeah, the guy went over there with Sugar Hill too.
Yeah. It started
with that, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. There's some Kronk stories that really need to be told, but I don't think I'm the person to tell them. But funny business with the gloves didn't start with Sugar Hill. Manny got a reputation that goes back to the early 80s that I know firsthand knowledge of.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
And I'll just leave that there because
Yeah.
there's someone I know from Chicago who had relations. And listen, let me just say this. Funny business with gloves has gone on a long time. A long time. And we have to thank God and the stars that we have trainers and coaches like Derek James, Buddy McGirt, Nazim Richardson, RIP to Nazim Richardson, for being able to catch when somebody's doing inappropriate things. Because believe it or not, just like you could be hearing something for the first time, a lot of these instances where certain types of cheating that goes on, guys learn about it for the first time when they're a victim of it. You know, Drew Titan gave a report of when he was a kid in the gym back in the 80s, the mid 80s, when someone showed him how to put their fist in the wrist portion of the glove and to hit with that, and you could do damage with it. And he was like, well, it doesn't feel comfortable. And he was explained to him, but you can do a lot of damage. So he was taught that as a kid. So just think about the person who taught him, how he knew and was teaching now someone young this back in the mid 80s. So Fury knew what he was doing. Sugar Hill knew what he was doing. And if you recall that some of their gym displays during the camps, they had moments where they said, okay, we got to kick the guys out of the gym with the cameras. Now we got some secret training to do. What kind of secret training? You don't want people to see that you're going to do some things that are unethical, you know? And the thing about it is turning the camera off in the dressing room on the night of the fight, all of that kind of stuff. You cannot excuse that. You cannot go against it. Wilder didn't turn his camera off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
championship fighters who never turn their cameras off. They may walk away from the camera if they're getting dressed or something because they don't want nobody to see their naked behind, you know, but that's not unethical. You know, that's what you're supposed to do. But when you're talking about so you can get prepared and wrapped up and everything, no, man.
Yeah, I think what was it? Yeah, Sugar Hill, I mean Javon Hill will protect his bottom line, I think. I mean, it was kind of just funny watching the video on Barbershop Conversation. I think everybody's seen it at this point. You know, just being Javon Hill, I guess.
Well, let me say this though. Even when he was on there, he did display discomfort.
Yeah.
Being asked things. And at the same time was trying to pretend that he was unaware of other things. You can't be aware of this, but unaware of that, but aware of this. No, you're either all in or you're all out. And in his situation, he could not possibly be all out. What I didn't like is this. How could you do that to Wilder? And when I say that, I'm not talking about anything as far as, you know, the support and love of a fighter like, oh, Wilder over Fury. No, I'm talking about ethics, because Wilder has shown he'll fight guys who have drugged and tested positive. He'll fight guys that have, been out of the sport and come back. He's willing to give a guy a payday that nobody else wants to fight. And then he says very positive things community-wise that are representative of what you would like to hear from a championship caliber fighter. There's respect there. But how could you work against that to bring that down? Not beating him on the level, but possibly by trickery and deceptions and things that are like illegal. That's what I got a problem with. Because how do I look at you and your gym and your camp? Because Emmanuel's dead and gone now. Emmanuel's legacy is what it is. It don't matter what anybody say from now or whatever. He's lived his life. He's no longer here. But now you have to live with the stigma of people having distrust. You have to have people thinking of you as a traitor and things of that nature. You see? And that's not cool. And you walk around as if you really don't know. I don't know why people would think that, we do this. He was actually saying on Fred's interview that he taught Tyson Fury how to punch. And Emmanuel, who he learned from, said punchers are born. You can't teach someone to punch with power. You can only teach someone to punch with proper technique, but you can't enhance power. You can't make them a power puncher when they were a feather-fisted puncher. So everything that you're doing and saying, you're actually speaking against the grain of hundreds of years of the sport. Get out of here. Why should I respect that? And why should I respect you when you've contributed mightily in a negative sense? And I'll say this, if Tyson Fury and Ben Davis or Ben Davison, whichever his name is, I don't want to say it improperly, but Ben, if Tyson and Ben parted ways because Ben wanted no part of Tyson and his cheating and things like that, kudos to Ben Davis. Kudos to him. Because if he's going to be involved in the sport, he'll have a career beyond Tyson Fury, right? So you don't want to carry a mantle of something very negative like that with you, like Panama Lewis.
You mentioned something very interesting about the whole thing with Ben. If that was the case, if he didn't want to have anything to do with it. When Nicholas Asbury came out about that was in late October of 2019. October 23rd, 2019. And Ben Davison left a threatening voicemail to Nicholas Asbury. I'm just reading it now. And I believe from here, Tyson Fury and Ben Davison split. News broke out on December 15th, 2019. That split. Ben Davison said on the voicemail, what did it say here? Do not, and I mean do not, I'm not the only one trying to cause a problem. If you want a problem, be a big man and say it, and you'll see how much of a problem you get. Oh, no, that's what... Yeah, I don't know what the whole voicemail said, but again, it could be true. You know? What you said about the slip. If that's the split. If that's the case. Because who knows? I don't know how we ended up here, though.
Sometimes people know, listen, sometimes people know when to walk away. You know what I mean? And that doesn't mean he has to accuse anything or something has to be suspect. He could just feel like, hey, this climate is not right for me. You know? And like I said, if that is where he's coming from, kudos to him. Hats off and respect to him. Because remember, you always have a choice. You get people say, well, I had no choice. You know, I was forced to. Yeah, you have a choice. It's just whether or not you want to deal with the consequences of what your choices are.
I'm just reading like how they split, of what caused it. Because Ben did do a lot for Tyson.
Yeah, he did a lot.
Fury said, I was going a little bit stale. Doing the same thing day in, day out for years. Well, that's how it is. This is boxing, for God's sake. I needed a change. This is unfinished business, but come Feb 22nd, this Dossa will finally get what's coming to him.
See, the key should have been.
What else did he say here?
The key should have been when Fury's dad began to talk like he talked. See, remember, he went from being horrified for his son getting back in the ring with Wilder to all of a sudden guaranteeing a knockout by his son and willing to put money up, huge sums of it. Remember what the offer he made to David Haye? He was like, we can bet, I guess it was like $1 million or something, he said, because he said it in pounds, but it was the equivalent of like $1 million or something that he was offering David Haye.
Not half.
And David Haye was like, well, I'm not a gambling man like that, you know, but he was like really sure himself that Fury was going to win this rematch. How does a man go from, I don't want my son to fight this man ever again, he could get killed in there? How do you go from that to he's going to knock him out?
Right, exactly. Just another note about David Haye. That dude is weirdo. I don't get why he acts like he does now, all nice and cute in front of the cameras. I want to see the real him before he changed after that first Bellew fight. I don't understand it. And he has like a turkey neck too now. Maybe he has AIDS.
Well, he's probably looking to do more media stuff and all of that. And in order to be that guy, like Andre Ward and Tim Bradley, you may be seeing the UK version of that with David Haye. You understand? Because Johnny Nelson is already that guy.
Yeah. Trained.
I respect Nigel Benn more because Nigel Benn is who he always been. He ain't gonna be that guy. But those guys, Nelson and Haye, you might as well lump them in as Ward and Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I watched that Barbershop Conversations interview and I was uncomfortable watching it, just because of the whole thing, just the whole thing. But when Drew was asking him the questions, there were some contradictions from Sugar Hill, and which I didn't really care about too much. But the thing that got me was when Drew asked him, the commission missed it. And then Javon replied with, missed what? what did they miss? And the way he said it was like implying that it's like, please tell me what you mean by what did they miss? Like, it sounded condescending, and I don't know, like his facial expression and his just everything. The way he said that was like, I don't know. It sounds like something is there to hide. Like, what do you mean, Drew? What did they miss? You know, and then Drew said they missed. You know, they must have missed checking your gloves or whatever. That just rubbed me the wrong way a bit. I found that weird. That was the only thing I found a bit weird in that. I thought, why would you go down that alley and say and like ask Drew that? Like, he could have just left that alone, but I don't know, maybe it's me just overlooking things and stuff, but this whole topic, man, is just, you know, I've touched it a ton, and you know, I remember people were saying back in March and April, they're saying this won't be talked about at all. You know, this topic has got to die down, and here we are. We're here talking about it still. It's 2021 now. Over a month, the fight is on. You know, it will be a year since it happened. So, you know, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But yeah, you know, Renee says a potential opponent for Canelo. Boxers have been calling foul with gloves, but they are cool excuses. Yeah, well, you know, I mean, someone today even said that Wilder might have poisoned Joshua. I won't mention the channel, but you know, that's just really what it's stooped down to these days. You know, you know, this topic has really divided people. That's why nowadays I don't really like to talk about it much, because it just, I don't know, it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Really, it truly does. You know, so yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Hey guys, I wanted to say I'm gonna have to go because I got to get ready for my show in about 25 minutes. So, Watcher, thanks for having me on your panel. Tyrone, salute, brother. And if you guys want to check out the Friday night chop session, come on over, because that's what's happening in about 25 minutes for me. Reggie and I got to get this show together. So Happy New Year again, and hope to do this again with you guys soon.
Yep. Yeah.
Of course.
All right.
Pleasure having you on.
Yeah, I'll come on your chop session. I'll be in the comments.
All right, man. So peace. Happy New Year again, and I'll catch you guys a little later.
Yeah.
All right. Peace, champ. See you
All
around.
right. See you. Peace.
All right. We'll go a bit longer, Tyrone, if you don't mind. I will wrap it up soon.
Yeah, no problem.
Have you seen, because I was just watching this yesterday, the Lopez Davis sparring session?
The one from years back.
Yeah, this one. Let me
Is Lopez like in a wife beater? Is Lopez in a wife beater?
A wife beater?
Yeah, the white shirt.
There's this one here. Let me bring it up. I don't even know how we got to talking about Tyson Fury, but I just want to stay away from that topic, man. It's just the fucking negative topic now. I've done too many videos on that shit. You know? It's depressing. This one.
Yep.
You haven't seen this
I thought
one?
he was wearing one. Yeah, I've seen
You've
this.
seen it?
Yep.
Nah.
Yeah, Tank isn't even taking him seriously and just. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Yeah, Tank was beating him easy.
Tank was fucking just playing with him.
Yeah. And when he did turn
But
it on,
you look at no, Tia's trying to knock him out here and fucking like press him, right? And Javonta, that's good, that hand control there. Like you see how he's like really trying to like hit him, and Davis is like he's just looking for the one shot. But this here like is enough for me to say that Tank knocks him out.
yeah.
Because like Tia's bigger than this now, but he fights the same. If you look at Tank, much comfortable in there. Tia looks like a bantamweight. Dude, I can't wait till Tank gets his hands on all these boys.
Oh, he'll smash.
Oh, it'll be so satisfying to just see him fucking ice everyone. He's going to obliterate. But I'm telling you, Bashal is the guy, and that is it as of right now.
Yeah.
No one else. And Devin Haney's doing a lot of talking. What did Devin Haney say? He almost made Tank quit.
Just crap.
Does this guy ever stop talking shit? Really? He just absolutely loves the attention. Like,
he's like Jack Reese.
Let me see.
Always showing his ass.
Fucking Jack.
Making it about him. Teofimo
and Haney are crybabies.
Yep.
Ryan is prima donna, who is
Lopez.
fake.
I think is worse. Is much worse, but yeah, they're both crybabies. Babies.
Who else is there?
Lopez is really, really bad. He cried. Girlfriend who gets ran the train on them. Whoever ran the train on them. That's what some date said. I think jokingly.
Ugh, right. Romero is dumb. Right.
Yeah, he's retarded. And like he's 26, but he acts like he's 17. You wouldn't even think he's that old.
Oh boy. People have looked at this barbershop conversation interview and they've I don't know, dude. Like people just.
And he was grilled.
That was really interesting what Stormy said about Manny. Oh, dude, that makes me sick.
About who? Pacquiao?
No, Emmanuel.
Oh, Emmanuel? Oh.
You know how they call him Manny?
Yeah, Manny Stewart.
Oh, dude, if that is true, I swear.
About the gloves?
Yeah.
It said it started with him or before him.
Yeah, far out. No, I think they said stories of Manny.
Well, I know James Toney hated him.
James Toney hated him?
Yeah, he hated Emmanuel Stewart.
He's not a special fighter. He's got to use the jab more. He's got to... Man,
but Bill Miller left Emmanuel Stewart to start training his own fighters. Bill Miller.
Yeah, like what? Look at what Michael said here. My battery's running out. Damn. Sugary Hill Stewart was like, "So what? Prove it. What you got to do about it?" I don't think he had anything to do with it. That's my belief. I don't think he had anything to do with it.
He knew the gloves were messed up, but he looked past it. My opinion. I there's no way you get, it's like, oh, I didn't know. I think he knew, but he just kind of turned away, sort of a thing.
Man, everyone is taking Fanon's content and just fucking running away with it.
Mm.
He's got to fucking fry them all. I'm telling you. He knew though. I don't know if he knew. If he did, then he's just as bad. But I tell you what, Sugar Hill, he held his ground.
He held his ground. He was getting grilled.
He was getting grilled. You could see the grill. He was sweating and everything, but he didn't give a shit really.
The heat was up. You know, he wasn't in a comfortable position. Nobody would be.
That was really uncomfortable to watch.
Hey, man.
Hey, you saw it with Tay though, didn't you?
Reggie Owens, Mo was cool. I mean, he didn't mind those. Those were like
when it got to Tay.
Yeah. It was bit with Reggie Owens and Mo, the thermostat was normal. Tay Jones, it got turned up. Well, Carl Tavius Johnson. Turned up, and then Drew Titans. It was high. The heat was on.
He has the gloves. He knows. Yeah, I didn't think of that because yeah, he does have them. Couldn't he just come out and fuck? I don't. Yeah, Drew Titan just fucking.
The heat was on.
Drew Titan, he brings that energy, man. I love his energy. Drew Titan's energy is great. You know, it was hard to watch, man. You know,
it was not easy.
No, it wasn't. I mean, how did you feel watching it?
The cringe, it was like tough. I just wanted to like put my hands up, you know, sort of a thing. Because it was hard. It was tough. I couldn't imagine being Sugar Hill. Javon Hill.
He doesn't like being called Javon.
Well, that's his name. He can change it all he wants.
He's like, don't call me Javon Hill. He goes, it's Sugar Hill. It's Crunk, mother effer. I'm like,
it's Javon.
No, it's not. Be quiet. I'm going to call you Javon. That's how it is. Okay? Your name is Javon. That is final. Okay? If you tell me not to call you Javon, then I don't even know what sugar means. Like, everyone uses that. Like, you know, I don't get it, dude. But, yeah, man. I reckon, dude, the next week or two is going to be pretty slow with boxing. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, after this upcoming fight, it'll be very slow. There's nothing on the radar. I think Kovalev will get beat by that amateur that IBT was talking about.
Good. Fuck Kovalev. I don't care about Kovalev. Piece of shit. Piece of shit human. I don't care about that guy. You know? Nothing more satisfying than seeing him lose. Yes, yes, yes. Getting hit to that body and doing that facial expression. You know?
Yeah.
Boy, that guy's weak, man. Ah, man, I wish Adonis fought. I wish he fought Adonis and Adonis just fucking did like a Fonfara on him. Minus the knockdown. Man.
I'm the champ. I'm the champ.
Do you remember in that Fonfara fight, he had his hands down in the 12th and he's like, I don't know, he's saying something in French. And he's like, you know, he's like, come here, come here. Oh, man. Guy's a monster. Seriously. Oh, man. That's like the light heavyweight Wilder with that power. That power was something else. Woo! That power was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
You know, dude, the Daniel Dubois knee, you got to keep that because that was hilarious when Stormy was laughing and I put my profile up and oh man. That was hilarious. But yeah, man, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Again, I'm gonna be pretty quiet the next week or two, guys, because just boxing wise, I don't know what's going on. Wilder Fury, nothing's really going on there. Just they're in mediation still. And that could go up until Feb, and then you got arbitration that takes like, you know, there's 60 days of stuff between that. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but if you guys want me on, I can come on as well. So yeah.
All right, bro. Thanks for everybody in chat.
TS Boxing. You got to go to that channel, guys.
Stormy B Man, thanks for letting me on, Watcher, and yeah, everybody enjoy your holiday.
Yeah, man. Salute to everyone.
Yep.
Salute to everyone. All right. Well, with that, I'm out. Peace.